Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to the Tech Talk by Professor Quentin this afternoon on how to make sense. Yes, many of you know Quentin, but by way of short introduction, Quentin received his early education in China. He was a graduate of Peking University or University of Beijing for bachelor and master. Well, he is not exactly like Raymond Chen and myself with a civil engineering type of degree. He actually started off geology program, which I think is a very good idea to have a solid geology background for his subsequent career path. And then he moved to Canada. He completed his PhD at a university in Ottawa, Canada, by name of Carleton University. Some of you may not have heard of it. One or two universities in capital city of Ottawa. So that's where I first met Quentin some decades ago. He then moved to Hong Kong, worked for a consultant firm by the name of Howcrow for a few years, and then he joined Hong Kong U, I believe, in the year 1999. I think I was still the head at that time of civil, so Quentin joined us from that point onward. He subsequently progressed from assistant professor to associate professor to full professor. So, Quentin, as I mentioned, has a strong geology background, but he's also very strong mathematically. So many of his papers are quite analytical. And on top of that, as I mentioned, he has a number of years of practical experience. So he's not the kind of person that just garbage in, garbage out type of computing. So without further ado, would you please join me in warmly welcoming Quentin to give us a TED Talk on how to make sense. Thank you, Quentin.
Well, thank you very much. Professor Lee actually is my mentor, Hong Kong U. And at that time, I joined in university, and he was the head of Department of Civil Engineering. Then under his leadership, we were working together for landslide prevention and land development in Hong Kong. So at that time, and Professor Raymond Chen was also the board of director for our center. So we were working together at that time for some maybe 6 years to did a lot of research on Hong Kong soils and Hong Kong landslides and Hong Kong land development. Particularly for we have we have a lot of projects at that time, so we were very busy. But today's talk is actually the extension of those early research, because at that time we did not worry about science, we just worry about disasters. But now, because of the changes, there are too many people using science internationally. So now we change to this topic, try to obtain science from soils. So that's the change. Actually, I've been working on this one since 1996. I come to Hong Kong as a consultant engineer and working in Hong Kong U, and did a lot of research on landslide prevention and land development. So we have a lot of ideas there, but now this one is much more practical. So the Department of Faculty of Engineering asked me to present this idea because Hong Kong now needs science. So that's the reason we have this topic here. So thank you. So I try to brief it for you. So the time is very short, but I try to put this one because the water shortage of science, not only Hong Kong. So that you can see our entire society is built on sand. So, but sand can do many things, can do construction, roads, bridges, and also land reclamation. And then sand can do glass, all the glass we are using are sands, then, and silicon chips. So, but the issue here is, we found out the sand crisis, shortage, as United Nations always, in many years now been arguing or try to get solutions, because now, they can see now about 5 billion tons a year of use of sands internationally, a huge. So not the rivers, the banks are destroyed by this kind of sands issues. Okay, so that's the background of internationally. So then they try to get a new solution. The United Nations try to get a new solution for environmental governance of global sand resources. They particularly mentioned that the desert sands cannot be used for construction. Okay, so if we go to the Middle East, they are using other sand, not the desert sands, for construction. So the river sand is the best. Okay, in right now natural sands. So particularly in last months, the Chinese government said they temporarily prohibited exporting natural sand to Taiwan region. So you can see the exporting of sands to Hong Kong also trouble. They're reducing lots of natural sand to Hong Kong. So then that's the Hong Kong situation. Hong Kong does not produce any sand because we know. Then all the sand used in Hong Kong imported from mainland China. Then cost lots of money. Right now, the sands each per ton might be $200 per ton. Okay, importing the sand from China. Then the mainland China has a stringent control in this kind of river sand or natural sands, because environmental damage. Okay, so that the imported Hong Kong become less and less, the price become high and high. So that's the issues. Under this background, and we carry on this research in last many years. Okay, not many, but it must 5 years or 10 years. So now I get some change your mind. Okay, so that's the discovery. Okay, so I feel very happy to figure out how can we produce sands in Hong Kong using our soils. So that's the financial sector in 2018, and Mr. Paul Chen said he said we therefore need your help to be sure a stable supply of cooled constrained materials, and particularly the sands, natural sands, because right now they try to use manufactured sands to replace natural sand. Natural is much more environmental unfriendly, crushed from rocks. Okay, so they sand from river and it's not crushed. Okay, so this one is, but it said at that time he said it's good case of point metric sand about the aggregates production. So the aggregate production is also cost a lot of environmental energy and very expensive. But at that time, the Paul Chang said it's an environmental friendly material in comparison to natural science. So that can we have better idea for better material, better environmental friendly and cost less? So that's the reason we have this one. You see, for Nando tomorrow, okay, okay, we are looking for lots of sands. So you can see now, at least about 100 million cubic sands to cost 20 billion Hong Kong dollars at least, because if we each $100 per ton for marine sands. But so that's the current situation in Hong Kong. So then we have another for this northern metropolis, okay, development. Lots of construction, lots of excavations were ongoing. So if we do it, and lots of sands you are needed, okay? So, and also not only sand, also the fine coarse aggregates, the gravels. So then our solution to sand shortage crisis, we have, because that's, I said already, since when I do Professor C.F. Lee, I've been working on this one for soils for many years. We're very familiar with soils. Soil has sands inside. But so around 25 years ago, in the 1998, Professor C.F. Lee got in the government the policy, the project, 25 million Hong Kong dollars at that time, very expensive, right? So that we and Professor Raymond Chen, who was the director of the Engineering Office of Hong Kong government, and we were working together for lots of research on landslide prevention and land development. So we have a Geographical Center. So we've done very well. So now you can see Hong Kong has less landslide disasters. So we did a lot of research and produced lots of good ideas, good methods, okay, for this one. But at that time, we're working on the soils. So working on the soils of Hong Kong. Hong Kong soils, mainly two soils. One is CDG and CDV. Okay, so these two soils are called landslides. Why? They have little cohesion, okay? So that they're on surface. The fractional strength is very small. When there's water there, landslide occurs. So this, at that time, we know that the soil encounter water, become landslide, become debris, become fluid materials. So that's the cases. So this figure here is myself, at that time, I working on the Shengwan Road landslides. And this is myself, when I come to Hong Kong and working on this Quentin big road landslides prevention projects. So we understand this very well. But at that time, we did not think about get sand from soils. So then the sands here, now this one is local CDG soils. This kind of sand looks soils, not useful, waste material, solid waste material. But we could discover that this local sand can be converted into industrial materials, obtain natural gravel, natural sand, natural soil, natural clay. So that's our products, actually. Okay. So that's our products to obtain from this soil, then obtain all the very nice sands here, well-graded sands. Because for concrete, you need well-graded sands, okay? Mix them together, and even though silt. The silt are very important because these silt material are silica material. So they are all silica material like quartz, okay? So this is very nice. And the material, you can see, this is very nice material, this quartz. This size is about 0.75 millimeter. So this size is very irregular, and this then cubic shape. Okay, so very nice for concrete materials. So that's the important things, okay? So then we have other gradients, other size, okay? All the sides can be examined by this method. So once you can see now, our method produced the sands are very clean. Look this one, very clean, surface very clean, no any other materials, only the pure sands here. So that's the important things, no any other material, only pure sands. So that's very clean. So method here is very important here for clean sands. So then we have other silt. The silt you can see is the silica material. Then the quartz, okay, and the few bars. Then the clays here, we have clays here. So the clays here are very important here. You see, this clay, is the kaolinite clay. So these clay are very, very expensive in the market, okay? So we can produce this clay here. So this clay, the size of this clay can less than 0.1 micrometers. So like 1 nanometers, a few hundred nanometers. We can produce this clay size, very small. For a smaller size of clay, it's very expensive. Okay, so that's our products. Then we have this from CDG. Then we have from the CDV, the complete comes the volcanic soils here. So we can produce sands, well-grade sands, and then these are the well-grade sands from these soils here. Then that's all the sands here. You can see clearly. Then they are all then come to silt and then clay. So this can be produced here so that we can see the sands. There's siliceous sands and many quartz. Okay, so that's important for us to use these sands for replace marine sand for non-reclamation automatically because it's clean sands. Okay, so our soil cannot put it into the water because the clay is too much polluting the sea water. But this is after clean, this sand can be used. So then we have the manual method of innovation. Okay, we can, because at the beginning I did not have too much money, I only can do by my hands. Okay, so very, very inexpensive. So we have 3 steps here. First, we mix the water with soil, then wash it. Okay, then wash until the sand become clean. Then we got the soil slurry. So we got the soil slurry. Okay, from this top part, the soil slurry. Then we sieve the soil slurry for fine sand. That's step 2. And the sieve, this one's 16 micrometer. Then got the sand here, the clean sand can obtain from this wash. Then we got the fine sands. Then we got the slurry. Slurry only contains silt and clay. So that's the step 2. Then we have step this. We can show you videos here to show the process of step 2, only washing by water. So very interesting here is the sands can be washed clearly and separate them, okay, by water only. No any other chemical components or solution you need, only by washing. So that's the beauty of this method. Is very environmental friendly, and all the water can be recycled. So that's the most important thing. The water can be recycled. So that's the clean sand can appear from this washing. So that then so anyway, because he is damaged here, I just show by this. Can we have this? Because we have to give you to show by hands how can we make the sand from soil. So okay. So anyway, I just try time here. So that's the soil. This soil from Hong Kong U, just the Hacking One building, the CDG soils. So that's the soil here. This soil we can wash it, and by hand to obtain the sand and the clay materials. Okay. So that's we can show you here just because this computer problem. I needed to come to here just do one spoon. So just do one spoon here for demonstration. So luckily the computer has problem, can do now. So we just not do too much because time, okay. So I just put it here. So this soil, okay. So what do? We just put the soil with water. So this one is the silver, okay. The silver 6.3 micro. So put it here. Then the water here just wash it by water. So that the by hands, okay. Then the we call the soil slurry with the fine sands and the silt and the clay can come too, okay. Passing through the silt and the clay passing through. So that's the method here we obtain. So then we can put more water, but the water is most important here to separate the materials into different groups, because the clay are very stick together, but the water can make it fluid. So after few times, not too much water here. So the sands appears, okay, the material separate. So the bottom are silt and clay in the solution, and then the slurry, then the sands appeared here. So the water become much more clean now. You can see now. So the clay and the silt are passing. So that's the simple method to do it. So just for demonstration, make sure you can do it. If you need the sands, okay. So you can see the sand, the water become much more clean now. So the silt and the clay and can pass in with the water to the bottle. So almost there now. I just tried one more. So okay. So you can see you might compare these two materials here though. I just show you the same material in the two here. So one we call soil, another we call sands, okay. So that's the change. So that's the method, very simple method, environmental friendly. Okay. Then we can see, because this one has some silt inside, okay, we can wash it again. For this part, we just wash this one. You can see so much here, right? But we wash it, we can wash it again. So that's our second step. To wash the fine sands come out, then to change the fine sands. Okay, so into the fine sands, and then the silt and the clay come into this passing through. So that we got a little bit the fine sand inside here. So all the silt and the clay passing through. So the fine sand, clean fine sand can appear here. So that's and then you will see the water with the silt and clay will clean. Okay, will clean the silt and clay will settle at the bottom by gravity. So then we have studies already. So this water here, 90% can be recycled by natural sedimentation. So that's the beauty. So how much water you use? You can recycle this after sedimentation. This water become very clean. Okay, same as this water. So we have tested already. So this water and this water, you will check them out after, because we said already for this one we need about we have this data that I show you later on. Then we can see you can see that the color will become much more two separations here. The bottom will have more silt and clay. Then the top are then after this one, for this one, we can use in this one here. So that's another filter, okay, sieve for for this kind of crude sieve. So this size can have from 0.8 micrometers then to 1 or 2 or 3 micrometers. So this size have different size here. So you can separate into different size. So this one, using this water and the red slurry, we can separate into silt and the clay, and get a very good clay, and less than 0.8 micrometers. So this kind of clay is beautiful for industrial use. That's a kaolinite. Kaolinite clay is very important, expensive. So because the size is important, so our size will be very fine. So less than one micrometers as a pure clay. So that's our invention here. And the most important here is this. We find out from this discovery here is what is the sands can be washed very clean. Okay, so the sands can be washed very clean. That's important, and the material can be separated. And this silver is used in the international for many years. But this one, nobody use it, okay, for our soils in soil mechanics. So this one here is very important to separate the fines, okay, the silt and the clay. So that's important here. This is our invention, okay, little bit for new materials from the industry. So that's okay. So that's our demonstration, okay. Anyway, so this one here, we have done this already. So that must be simple, right? So I think, everyone can do it by hands. But the issue here is, can we do it by machine? Because for manufacturing, you need to see, you see 1 ton of sands, only about $200 in Hong Kong. So you need about 2 tons of soils washed. Okay. But if by hands, it's little, right? But you need a manufacturing production very rapidly. So we have to do by machine. So luckily, we got a machine, a simple machine. Then it works, okay? The machine can make it into sands and clay by this same method. So we feel very happy, because we worry about we hands can wash it small amount, but you have not the amount, say each time 100 kilograms. Can you wash it 1 time? Okay, so we found out the machine there. So so then because our method is okay for this machine, so we have 3 steps. Same for the machine. Then, but right now our machine we have done already. We'll show you the videos after his computer come back, so that it can be done by mass production. So we can produce a factory in Hong Kong, okay? Just a piece of land and push some machine there. And by our invention ideas, we can same procedure. So conveyor, we need a conveyor because this is washing and water, and this one should be come down automatically by conveyor. So this conveyor, then washing, then come back and separate the sands and clay. Then that's the easy job. That's my belief. This can be done without the difficulty because we have tested already. The machine works. Even the machine works. Important here is what we have measured the electricity using for the machine. Okay, so we found out if we wash 1 ton of soil or sands come out, and it's less than Hong Kong dollar, $10. So your electricity power for washing the sands, maximum $10 because clay needs to be more money because clay is not easy to done. But the sands are less than $10 for 1 kilo, 1 ton, okay, for 1 ton sand. So that's make us feel very, very, very excited, because people always ask me, how much cost is, okay, if it costs too much, it's useless, right? But I said already, the water recycle, 90% can recycle, automatically, and actually 100% can be recycled, because soil has water self already at the beginning, because soil most content might be 10-20% already, so we can recover all this water actually. Okay, so then the electricity found out, if 1 ton, if you less than $10 for electricity, it's very cheap. Okay, now other cost is what? Is human power, manpower. Manpower is salary. Okay, so I feel it's cost not too much. Very, very economically can be done. So we feel this is very good to Hong Kong industry for land reclamations. The sand can automatically use it because the density of the sands is 2.6 as quartz, same, okay, because it's the siliceous minerals. So in the old days, our land reclamation, we don't use soils to put into land for reclamation because too much clay. The clay can put into seawater for pollution, okay. So, but after washing and saving, we can only put the sand into reclamation. So we don't need to push any sand for land reclamation. Marine sand also, we can put it there. So I think we solve without any further testing. We solve the issue of reclamation using marine sands, but we can use our sands. Marine sands imported from mainland China at least $100 per ton. Or producing maybe less than $10, per ton. So the difference is huge. Okay, but Hong Kong, the most important later on we'll talk about it because Hong Kong has lots of soils, excavations. We have lots of soils, but these soils are garbage. In the past 20 years, cost the Hong Kong government billions of dollars for treat all the soils, okay, as a waste material. But we use this soil to benefit Hong Kong. That's our belief. So we have, I said already, our Professor Lee and Raymond Chen, as director of our Center for Landslide Prevention and Land Development. After 20 years, we still continues. So that's important here. Professor Lee asked me to be his assistant at that time. So and Raymond give me another support, then we continue to do this way. So eventually, I feel very happy because we got the government fund about $20 million at that time, very expensive. But eventually, we had this kind of results. But we've done it already for landslide prevention. Okay, but this one is the real stuff. Nobody tried in Hong Kong, I believe. Raymond is director of Japan Yale office, and luckily he supported me. Coming here. Thank you very much, Raymond. Okay, so that's the try to do this video again. Okay, so we have shown this already, right? So that we've done this already. Okay, so that we can see that's the step 3. Using the cruise, we said already the cruise. The cruise has become a bag here. The bag, then the cruise become a bag. Then we can then we wash them. Then we separate. Then we by sedimentation method we obtain the clean water. So then we can see. So that's the method here. We have this the bag. Close back by manual motion, then the clay slowly come out and sealed it within the bag. So that's the video to show the process. So that's a video to show the process, okay? So this process manually process. Because we try manually process, because we try everything has been done by manually at the beginning. So this kind of work is, so we need a massive protection, right? So, but anyway, this works here. So we find out this works here. So the disturbance, okay? Then the solution or the clear solid can pass in through this cruise. So the cruise can be used many times, okay? The cruise is very durable. So then we have this the clear solid, the wet silt and sealed solid. Then we have the sand, clean sands, and the gravels. So that's our three processes at this moment. So then what do? We need to sedimentation to obtain the water, recycled water. So then that's the machine method. So we show you some machine method. Our machine method is preliminary without the conveyor, the belt. Everything done by manually, but then the saving is disturbed by the machine. So we have three steps here. We put the soil and water into this kind of mixture. So that's the step one, okay? Then we have the step two. Then we have step two for sieve, okay? Then 63 micrometer sieve. Then we got the cruise sieve, then step three. So that's the three steps here. Then we can show you that's the mixture. This one doesn't work again. So that's the mixture, okay? Then we put this one with water. So you can see we come out the clean sands. So after that, we come out the clean sands. You can see here, that's the mixture, then the clean sands, then the clean sands come out, that's the, we can obtain. So that this one show you the mixture. So this one common use in Hong Kong in construction industry, the machine, okay? Very cheap, right? Because it's used for many, many years, but it works, okay? So after washing many times with clean water, then we keep the soil solid in the container. Then we get a clean sands, okay, clean sands. Then we second step, we get a fine sands, okay, using this sieve. So this sieve and in 63 micrometers, then we can see that's the sieve very rapid. So that's the second step. Then we have a third step. We have this one here to the sieve, the closed sieve to wash them out. Then we got the clear solid, then the silt, and then afterward we got the clear materials. So because the silt is high permeability, water can pass in very quickly. Okay. So that's next one is the water recycling. We said already. So the water recycling is you can see after sedimentation, the water top part become clean water. So this clean water we can see tested here. We have done tested here already to see how rapid the settlement can occur. So we have three materials. One is silt, very rapid. Second material is clay. Third material mixed or silt clay. So the clay very slow, but slow is not too slow, okay? And they're not very many days, okay? But it's a few days time, okay? So that's our results can show here. See the sedimentation of the material for clean water come out. So the top part of very clean water now, okay? So you can see the box there is become clean now, much more clean now. So much more looks very clean now, okay? So then we have this kind of data here. For silt, it's 10 minutes, but more than 90% of water come out. For the clay, around say 100 minutes, about 75, about if 16 hours, about 85. If longer, it's much more. So eventually we can obtain lots of clay. So the density of clay can become 1.4. So water will be little bit, okay? So it takes time. So that's our results here for the recycling water. So we'll test the water quality. Okay, this test water quality using the method here. We compare some known how many clay inside. Okay, then compare them. So we found out the clay within the water or something there is around 100 ppm. Okay, or few ppm. So the content the water, clean water is very clean. Okay, a few ppm or 100 ppm. to this range. So that we have tested already. So there are tremendous of soil sources in Hong Kong and around the world. Okay, so Hong Kong is one of the world, right? So, but we have tremendous. Hong Kong is mountains. We have lots of mountains here. So then the mountains are 100 meters high and 1,000 meters high, but they are all by the soil, CDG and CDV soils, and about 100 meters deep. So all the constraints in the mountains, then we can do excavation for basement, for tunnels, for caverns. So they come out lots of soils. So that's the example here to show you the sands appear in the Damao Shan. The Damao Shan is the topmost mountain in Hong Kong. If you go to Damao Shan, you will see sands there. Why? Because this sands washed by rainfall water. So it becomes sands appear on the surface of the slope. So that's the natural method, okay, obtain the sands. So we do the same thing, natural method. So then this is on in the CDG in the Nantou Island. You can see the sands in the soil. So that's the clear sands in the soil. So that the soil has not all clear and has not all sands inside, the well-graded sands and gravels. So Hong Kong, geology here is what is the granitic rock and volcanic rocks. They are weathered. So depth of weathering about 100 meters thick, okay, deep at the surface. So there are tremendous of good quality of in situ weathered soils. So these are all the siliceous minerals inside. And with clay, the clay is the product of weathering. In the granitic volcanic rocks at the beginning, and the fresh rocks has no clay, but after weathering, all the other minerals become clay, except the quartz. The quartz remaining. So we get lots of quartz in our sands, and the clays are the products of other minerals. So that's the beauty of this kind of Hong Kong, So Hong Kong is a location itself produce lots of sands. But unfortunately, because we did not, maybe the sand was too cheap from importing from Mainland China in the old days, we did not do it. But now we can do it now because the sand become much more expensive and much more little and little, okay? So the public field, important is the public field. The soil, we come from public field. The public field is not a public field. So every year, around 18 million tons of public field, So this one, for the government's treatment of this public field, expensive. One example, why expensive? If anyone try to produce, okay, this kind of soil from excavations, from the construction, you send to government banks, you will pay the government $70 per ton for treatment. So you produce soil, okay, from your excavation. You give government banks there and receive it. Then you pay the money for the government to treat the soil. They call it public field, okay? But $70 per ton. Okay, so very expensive treatment. In the past years, the government spent lots of money for treating all these soils. One of the reasons I said already, this soil cannot be used for marine land reclamation because the soil has too much clay and will pollute the sea water. But this soil is good soil, so we found out these soils are very expensive, very good. So this excavation in Hong Kong, we this one for CDG and the CDV soils, excavation, lots of soils, very quality soils, okay? So those soils we have studied already, they have very good minerals inside. Then we can obtain sands and clays from these soils. So Hong Kong in the future, in the past many years, we have lots of soils here. So soils, this is the bank in the Jiangjun. So this bank, we went there many years ago, about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So we saw lots of soils there, okay? But this soils has to be treated, paid by the government or the user, then as a waste material, so environmentally treated as a waste material, solid waste, okay? So that's the trouble here. So then another one is the public field bank in Tunmen area, okay? So that's the second part. So then this kind of stuff, you see, that's we got the soil from a public field from Tunmen area. We tested it, then it could become sands and become clay. So very cool sands and can do many things, okay? But people did not do it in the past. So we tried to do it. So then in China, see this is just a simple the map to show the granitic rocks in China, the Southeast China, including Hong Kong, Then there are lots of granitic rocks there, okay, and weathered. So this the picture shows the Shenzhen, huge amount of the excavation CDG, CDV soils there, okay. So they put there, got 9 slides. So these soils are very good. Okay, so that's the example here. You know, mainland China have lots of this, and internationally, because granitic rocks, volcanic rocks, they are tremendous everywhere. Okay, so that's the Shenzhen soil. Okay, sands and the clay from the Shenzhen soils. So we finally have some concluding remarks. We have provided a new solution for sand shortage crisis around the world, including Hong Kong, because soils everywhere. Okay, so the soils, the granitic soils and volcanic rocks, igneous rock soils are very everywhere. So 2019, the United Nations, they produced this report, Science and Sustainability, finding new solutions for environmental governance of global sand resources. So they put a lot of research here. We studied them, okay, but none of them is our solution. So we say our innovation and tech discovery offers a new sustainable and environmental friendly economic solution to this crisis internationally, not only Hong Kong, but Hong Kong is most important, okay, to us. So then in the 2020, this year, they got another report, got 10 strategic recommendations to avoid a crisis. So the United Nations put these 10 recommendations there, but none of them is our recommendation. So we put a new sustainable and environmental friendly and economic solution oriented recommendation. So that's our contributions right now. We wish this can be used internationally. So, you know, this one, our innovation and technology discovery try to convert rock source, particularly popular fuels, from gravel, sands, and silt. They can be essential for construction and for industry, and then for agriculture. So why I mentioned agriculture? Because agriculture is the most important part. So agriculture, our clay material can be used for agriculture. Okay, so annually 90 million tons of polyfuel can produce 10 million tons of gravel and sand, and 3 million tons of silt, and 6 million tons of clay. Total market price or value about at least $2 billion per year. So maybe 2 billion not too much, okay? But Hong Kong expenditure about 10 billion, okay? But our sands, the market price around at least 2 billion. If we include Shenzhen and East China, maybe 100 billions, okay, you know, okay. So, but the Hong Kong market like this, but that's our simple calculations. So the last part is acknowledgement. My students and my industrial partners give me lots of support, provide me lots of soils from local industrial excavations. Okay, we can do it. So that free of charge. Okay, you know. So I appreciate their support for this new development and research. And thank you for your attention.